What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. Today is a beautiful day and we're together again. Thank you very much for being part of this. I really appreciate you guys. Today, again, we're going to talk about Africa. We are in South Africa right now. South Africa is being threatened by the US. Very interesting. So basically, there was a letter sent to the White House asking the White House to reconsider South Africa as a place to host Agoa. So US lawmakers recently published an open letter in which they asked the White House to move the African Opportunity Growth Agoa Summit scheduled to take place this year in November away from South Africa, citing the latter country's seemingly close relationship with Russia. So they say 4 influential bipartisan US senators have signed a joint letter calling on the US to strip South Africa of the rights to host 2023 Agoa Forum and accusing Pretoria of supporting Russia in its war against Ukraine. We are seriously concerned that hosting 2023 Agoa Forum would serve as an implicit endorsement of South Africa, damaging support to Russia's invasion of Ukraine and possible violation of the US sanction law. We encourage you to explore other possible locations to host this year's forum. So what is Agoa? I think it's very interesting to understand. Agoa is a system that they created a while back to help African countries profit from trade with the United States of America. Basically, sending your stuff, exporting some of your stuff tax-free, if not very preferential tax rate. So it allows many countries of sub-Saharan Africa to go to America and exchange, trade, sell their goods, and be okay with the tax. So basically, they say Agoa is a trade program meant to establish stronger commercial ties between the United States and the sub-Saharan Africa. The act establishes a preferential trade agreement between the US and selected countries in the sub-Saharan region. So obviously, the US said, you know what, guys? You are Africans, sub-Saharan Africans. If you produce some of your stuff, you can bring it to the US. We're not going to charge you what we will usually charge as tax fees for you to trade here. This obviously allowing many countries of Africa profiting from this opportunity. Great opportunity for countries that can produce and export some of their goods. So South Africa is one of the biggest profitees of Agoa, one of the biggest traders, one of the biggest in Africa that sends stuff in the US for exchange, to make money, to sell goods and stuff. Mainly, South Africa sends a lot of cars, BMWs and Mercedes, that are naturally planted in South Africa. South Africa sends a lot of agricultural stuff, apples, pineapples, and many other things. So it plays a big role in the economy of South Africa. And Agoa pays the salary of over 80,000 people in South Africa. So it's a big opportunity for SA. Now, we all know South Africa is a friend to Russia. Okay, their friendship started a long time ago. Okay, during apartheid and even before that, before colonialism, Russia had a good friendship with Africans, black South Africans. They obviously never came to Africa to come and colonize. They did not claim any country like most European countries. In fact, they participated in long range in helping Africans liberate some of their countries. In particular, South Africa, the ANC at the time received a lot of intelligence, a lot of arms, a lot of support coming from Russia, USSR at the time. So their ties are very strong. They're very good friends. And also, let's remember BRICS. South Africa is part of BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They have their group, the financial group. They help each other with trade and stuff like that. Now, we know a while back, the ambassador of the United States in South Africa stated that South Africa was sending weapons to Russia in its war against Ukraine. He came very frantically, blatantly talking about the situation. And he was called back to order by South African politicians, telling him he should not breach the political avenues of claims. He should not just speak out the way he like. There are procedures, there are ways you should express yourself when you have issues like this. South Africans said, we don't know about that, but we have a team of investigators that's investigating the subject. Once we get the result, we will make sure you know about it. And you will show us the proof that you have, then we can discuss it. So the ambassador went straight and said, South Africa is sending weapons to Russia. And later on, he came forward and apologized. He said, I'm sorry. After obviously being pressured, he said, I'm sorry for expressing myself in this way. I'm sorry for violating the procedure, the not following protocol. But like I said to you earlier, that did not mean that he retracted his accusation. Saying I'm sorry for saying what I say does not mean I'm sorry I was wrong. So now we're seeing it coming because we all felt that this was not over. They were going to come back and find a way to subject South Africa to pressure, because they don't want South Africa to have pressure. They don't want to have discussions and trade and stuff like that, because the initial goal of the United States was to pin Russia in a corner, to isolate Russia completely, to crumble its economy in a way that it cannot resist anymore. But by Russia trading with South Africa, discussing with other countries, Russia cooperating with China, gives it an opportunity to survive. And that's perhaps the reason why Russia's economy has not crumbled. Now, what remains there to be done? If you cannot pin Russia down, what do? You attack the people that are very friendly with Russia. And this is exactly what's happening.
We can't tell South Africa how they should promote their own foreign policy, but we have been clear in all of our messaging that Russia's unprovoked war on Ukraine needs to be condemned, and any country taking actions to support Russia, I think, goes against all of the values that we hold close as a country, but also in the United Nations.
This is just the beginning. 4 senators wrote an open letter to the White House asking the White House to cancel Agoa from South Africa and send it to another location. Agoa this year was programmed to be hosted in South Africa. And again, now the senators are pushing that Agoa be relocated to another place. I feel like it's a very simple way of saying, you know what, so we can put pressure on you. And if you continue supporting Russia, we're going to remove South Africa from the list of countries that can benefit from Agoa. Now, how bad does South Africa need Agoa? How bad? Yes, it plays a big role in the economy of South Africa. Yes, and South Africa will feel the pressure of Agoa. Let me just put it this way for you fellas. People in Western countries stay together. If the United States chooses something, Europe will follow suit. A few months back, if you remember, South Africa exported goods to Denmark, and the Danish government refused to let the agricultural stuff in through the European laws. They say supposedly the South African goods were infected by a virus. Obviously, they're not going to say we're not going to take it in because you're supporting Russia. They have to find a genuine reason to justify that, like big boys. So they say, no. We have detected that there are some stuff that are in your infected, you know what I mean? So we will not let it in. There was need to a lot of negotiation, a lot of discussion in order for the trade to continue. Now, we can feel clearly this is a threat. This is a warning. Okay, this is a clear warning. We also know that BRICS is supposed to take place in August. So Vladimir Putin is supposed to fly in South Africa to host BRICS. Then South Africa is supposed to host Agoa in September, the same year. We can clearly see that this move's objective is to discourage South Africa and to find a way that South Africa could say, no, Vladimir Putin, after reflection, I think you should rather just stay in Russia and not come here. After they issued the warrant of arrest against Putin, we know that South Africa is not planning to arrest Putin. It's clear. They're not going to do that. First of all, because the ANC is in power. The ANC is the political party of Mandela. They struggled very much against oppression. So they do understand a little bit how the Western countries think. And they're clearly not going to sell out Putin. Now, number 2, this is clearly a pressure, trying to pressure South Africa to abandon, if not to slow down its friendship with Russia. So what's going to happen later? Should South Africa say, you know what, you guys can stay with your Agoa. Okay, we're going to find our own ways, our own way to trade with each other. We will survive anyway. Or should South Africa say, you know what, Putin, don't come. Let us save our economy. Let's just be in the good books of the United States. We will see you later. Okay, fellas, let me know how you think about this. How do you feel about this? We want you to contribute. We want you to be part of this so we can think and find solutions together. God bless.